We're going. All right.
Enjoy.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming together tonight to listen to my speech. I hope each one of you takes some useful information away from it. In the following 2 minutes, I would like to present to you the good and the bad of smartphone usage and let you decide what effect, if any, smartphones may have on you. Recent research from Duke University School of Medicine shows young adults may spend more than 5 hours per day on their phone. That amount is more than the average, almost as much as the average person spends at work. That may sound like a shocking statistic, and that was my first thought as well. However, when I checked my phone and read that on average, I use my own phone for over 4.5 hours a day, I could not believe it. I know that that I check it from time to time and scroll through social media apps, but over a quarter of my waking hours are spent viewing a screen. Smartphones are one of the most used tools in the world and obviously have their benefits. But is your smartphone the only impact of your smartphone on you positive? The good effects that smartphones have in today's day and age is something that is often overlooked. It is also something that is ever growing with the release of new technology in the form of upgraded phone hardware, software, and new applications. At the beginning of this year, there are almost 4 million applications in the two main app stores, the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, respectively. And that amount has almost doubled just over the last few years. There's also some rather unorthodox advantages that most people don't think about as well. In a recent article, the Journal of Aging and Mental Health reported that in the use of an 8-week smartphone-based training program improved medical WM function in older adults. This is not the typical use of a smartphone, however, an important one. The introduction of this application has reduced the cost of this treatment down to almost zero, and has made the distribution of it as simple as a few clicks. So right here in this slide, this is sort of the good, how I have it separated, and over to the right is just an application that allows you to track your kids if they're going to school, just to keep a better track on them. Some other things that I say were increased communication with fire and EMS, like if you need to call the cops, or you're just out remotely when before you had landlines, things like that. Now just smartphones, it's increased. Also, better solutions for medical apps. So before you'd have to have specialized devices and things like that. So smartphones would obviously make that cheaper because you don't have to have the device, and make it a lot easier to get to different people because they can release it over the App Store and not have to send it out locally. All right, now we're going to move on to some of the more negative effects of smartphones. The bad effects of smartphones are something that you hear a lot more about, from texting and driving to the effect that they have on young children. There's no shortage of information out there condemning them. In a recent study of the Journal of Computers and Human Behavior, it was found that among 6,000 random participants, the addiction percentage among participants was 48% to smartphones. And that was about 3 years ago, so obviously those numbers have increased with the increased usage of smartphones. The other fact that's not talked about a lot is discussing smartphones and distracted driving and the accidents that result from smartphone usage while behind the wheel. In 2015, distracted driving resulted in 667,000 auto accidents, totaling 16% of all accidents, killing just under 3,000 people. Now I'm going to basically open up my phone. Anybody in the audience is welcome to do this too if you'd like, or you can come back to it later. Basically, I'm just going to go to my phone. I want to demonstrate something. Under the battery screen, it actually shows you how much you used your phone, and it's actually gone up a little bit today. But just in the past 24 hours, my screen's been on 5 hours and 58 minutes. So I'm just looking at somebody in the audience is pretty close to that as well. And a lot of people seem shocked when I first say that people use their phone 4-5 hours a day, but it's actually more practical than you actually think. I know over the past few minutes I have thrown a lot of information at you coming from both perspectives. However, most of that data relies on averages and numbers that are closest to everyone but not exact to anyone. So the truth of the matter is that you may be at the top, bottom, or middle of any of these statistics. Also, you could use your phone 10 hours a day and have a great relationship with it, or you could use it 20 minutes to scroll through Facebook and it could have a really negative effect on you. All I want to leave you with is just step back for a minute and think what effect your smartphone is really having on you, and see if there is a reason to change, or maybe there's not. All right, thank you.